and welcome to Progress Diary, your weekly update of events and activities of the Abdullahi Ganduje-led All Progressives Congress. I am Habida Lawal. It has been a busy week in the APC with many twists and turns. The plot to remove Abdullahi Ganduje as chairman of the All Progressives Congress fails as a Kano Federal High Court rules in favor of the APC national chairman. 27 executive members of the APC at Ganduje ward of Dawakin Tofa local government have denied suspending the party's national chairman, Abdullahi Ganduje. The members converged on the state party office to address journalist movement after about 9 persons announced suspension of the national chairman.
There is no doubt controversies in democracy, controversies in politics are variables which are constant. So I'm not surprised when such controversies emerge from the grassroots, coming up even at the national level. But what is important is the reality, the legality, the morality of the variables that are at interplay. I have to thank the executive committee of my ward. I have to thank the executive committee of the local government and also the executive committee of the state and the entire members of the APC in Kano State. When we heard the news, we knew it was not true. But we had to exercise patience and see how things would be unfolding. And after fair investigation, physical investigation, it was found that those who met with the officials of Kano State government, they aren't executive members of either the ward or the local government, and they are not even members of our political party. So I have to appreciate you for showing your concern. I know you would show your concern. I believe in you, and I have been proved correctly. In fact, what is happening is that it is an incursion into our political party by the NMPP and the government of Kano State in order to destroy our party, because they are so concerned. So far, during the first year in office, they have seen their failures right from the destruction of the economy of Kano State down to the increase of political violence in Kano State, and also the destruction of political morality in Kano State. And when all this are put together, they have started seeing the failure of their party. And they are so concerned that we are battle ready in order to take over the government come 2027. And also, they are so concerned that who produces, I can say, the highest votes, after some time with influence somewhere, somehow, were reduced to the second highest votes for Mr. President, Aswaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. They are so concerned that we'll repeat the same and go much, much higher in order to ensure that 2027 there's no vacancy for any presidential candidate in Kano State, from Kano State and from Nigeria that will win an election as such. So we know their motive is to create confusion in our party so that we will not have the courage, the guts in order to take over our government again. And also to ensure that our President Bola Ahmed Tinubu does not have the intimidating votes he usually has from Kano State. We want to tell them that their intention is impossible.
The national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Abdullahi Ganduje, has said the party will legally pursue the matter of the purported suspension by an alleged imposter who addressed the press to announce the suspension of the national chairman of the party. Mr. Ganduje said this when he received members of Dawa Kintofa Ward and some state APC executives at the party national headquarters in Abuja.
Their intention will fail. Their intention is a falsehood. We want to assure Mr. President, our party in Kano State is intact. Our party in Kano State is solid. Our party in Kano State is battle ready in order to keep the votes for Mr. President very high, even the highest. We have heard your complaint. Your complaint is that you have disassociated yourself from that false claim. And in addition to that, you are appealing to us. We take appropriate legal action according to the rule of law. This is very vital. This is a new phenomenon in democracy. It's a new destructive phenomenon which should not be allowed to thrive. If a political party, an opposing political party, can just gather people from motor park and claim that they are exactly members of another political party, I think this new dimension, this new destruction should be checked by the security agencies and even the judiciary. So we assure you, we will not allow those saboteurs, those fake APC politicians to go free like that. We have already written to the IGP, to the DG, DSS, and we are pursuing this case. We have their pictures, we have their names, we have their telephone numbers, we know their political leanings. In fact, some of them was even wearing the so-called Kongosia cap. You see, they were so daft. They were so insensitive because they are mediocres. Even the camouflage they wanted to make It was not a camouflage based on intelligence. So we assure you, we are pursuing this case to logical conclusion.
And the plot to remove Abdullahi Ganduje as national chairman of the APC has provoked some stakeholders within the governing party. At a news briefing in Abuja, a group of concerned party faithful blamed impostors from the ruling party in Kano State and called for a thorough investigation from security agencies.
Mr. Kwankwaso and his co-travelers have now devised means of causing more disaffection by trying to get the ward ESCO of Ganduje ward of Kano State to suspend the national chairman, but couldn't get any. So they resorted to impersonating some of the ESCOs in order to mislead the general public. The 27-member ESCO are intact and had since addressed the press and disassociated themselves from the purported suspension, which is now dead at arrival. In view of the above narrative, our democracy is clearly in danger, and this threat is coming from an emerging terrorist organization known as the Kwankwasia movement. It was obvious when one of the fanatic Kwankwasia members refused to remove his red cap as a mark of loyalty to the NNPP and the Kwankwasia movement, yet he claimed to be a member of the APC. Impersonation is a criminal offense punishable by law. We call on the Inspector General of Police and indeed the Director General of the State Service to immediately arrest the impostors and prosecute them to serve as deterrent to others willing to orchestrate such devilish acts in future. These are people who openly threaten the judiciary during the tribunal days. They have no regard for the rule of law or any constituted authority other than the NNPP-led Kano State government. If these impostors are not arrested and prosecuted immediately, in a short while, some members of the PDP and that of Labour Party may constitute themselves and suspend President Bola Ahmed Tinubu from the APC. And this is why we are calling on the Director General of the State Service, the Inspector General of Police, and all relevant security agencies that those who purportedly suspended the active national chairman of the APC are not members of the party. They are impostors, and the IGP, DSS, and other security agencies should fish them out, arrest them, and prosecute them to serve as deterrent to others.
And the Federal High Court in Kano, presided over by Justice A.M. Liman on Thursday, 18th of April, issued an order restraining all parties involved in the suspension of the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Abdullahi Ganduje, from enforcing the suspension. The court specifically prohibited Halts Gwanjo and 8 others from implementing the purported decision made during the alleged emergency meeting of the supposed executive members of the APC Ganduje ward in Dawakin Tofa local government, which took place on the 15th of April. Recall that the High Court in Kano, presided by Justice Usman Naba, had on Wednesday granted an ex parte order restraining the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Abdullahi Ganduje, from parading himself as a member of the party. Justice Naba's order followed an ex parte motion filed by Dr. Ibrahim Sahat on behalf of 2 executive members of Ganduje's ward, Dawakin Tofa local government area. The Assistant Secretary, Lamin Usani, and legal advisor, Halts Gwanjo, the plaintiffs, who were part of the 9 ward executives that suspended Mr. Ganduje on Monday. However, Abdullahi Ganduje, through his legal team, in his suit, had approached the Federal High Court for the enforcement of his fundamental right to a fair hearing. And moving on to other matters, all the 16 aspirants that obtained nomination forms are expected to contest the Ondo governorship primary slated for the 20th of April 2024. The screening committee, chaired by Senator Joshua Lidani, cleared all aspirants. All the aspirants also demonstrated willingness to support anyone who emerges as the party's candidate for the November 16, 2024 Ondo State governorship election.
Our party members in Ondo State. And also, if there's any discrepancy or if there's any disagreement, then the appeal committee will listen. And that is part of internal democracy, which we have to abide as prescribed by our constitution.
The court that has jurisdiction by the Electoral Act, which we drafted, is the Federal High Court, and the Federal High Court has said the purported suspension should not be recognized pending determination of the case. I think it's very important to make this public clarification as we are doing this inauguration, because before some fifth columnists will be saying there was an order and others. We have order. And of course, I must also say that an order of court is only actionable when it is served on the recipient of that order.
And that is all on the program this week. Do not forget to join us next week to follow developments in the All Progressives Congress led by Dr. Abdullahi Ganduje. I am Habida Lawal. Thank you for watching. See you next week.